All right, guys, we are here today. It is Monday. We got retail sales data today, I think. Let me make sure. I gotta update some of the stuff at the bottom. But yeah, we got retail sales for February coming in this morning. We got retail sales 8:30. Expected at 0.6%. Core expected at 0.3%. I'm gonna put this up on screen so you can see it. But yeah, retail sales 8:30. We'll put a timer up pretty soon. Hold on. Yeah, so today we have Nvidia GTC keynote at 11 a.m. or at 1 p.m. Retail sales 8:30. There we go. All right, so we should be good there. But yeah, we got. What's up, Faye, Ryan, Ray, Eva, G, Marco, Yum, Ava, Sam, Pedro, Steve, Borneo, It's Bad, Beal. What's up, guys? Yeah, we roll over this week, right? Pretty sure we roll over this week, right? I think it kind of auto rolls here, though. All right, we're going to do a poll. Nvidia's gapping up today. We got some news to cover, too. Nvidia has gone up primarily due to anticipation surrounding its annual GPU tech conference, GTC, which starts today. Investors are waiting for potential announcements regarding AI, including the upcoming B300 Blackwell chip expected this year and the next generation Rubin chip platform slated for 2026. Additionally, Nvidia's valuation has become more attractive following a recent stock correction. Their trailing 12-month PE ratio has declined to 36.4, the lowest level since before the launch of ChatGPT in November of 2022, making it 41% cheaper than at that time. So, yeah, Nvidia back up to 123s here. Ironically, though, the PE ratio is not going to be as good if the price goes up, you know. But hey, we're still watching it. VIX is up a little. Is it really? Is the market down? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, so the SPY is slightly red. The NASDAQ just went slightly green on the day. The VIX is down at 22s. Up a little bit today, though. Dropped some on Friday, probably from the bullish action. Yeah, let's do a poll. Are you bullish or bearish on today's retail sales data? 8:30 is when it drops. We'll put a timer up. There's the poll. Oh, it is. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. There's a timer. What do you guys think of the direction? Bounce seems lumpy, a lot of resistance. I don't think you're crazy. I don't know, the correction could end right now and we could bounce back. It's one of the things I said last week is that nobody knows what this is going to do. Like we've already corrected 15% plus in the NASDAQ. That's a decent correction. And so it's very possible we rebound back up and continue up. It's also possible we keep dropping. It just depends. Honestly, it depends on the keynote. It's one of the biggest things that happens is the Jensen Huang, Nvidia CEO keynote speech today at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That is important. And that is going to influence what Nvidia does. If investors are underwhelmed around this report, Nvidia could fall more. If investors are optimistic, if they say some good stuff, then Nvidia could run up more and the correction could be done. We still got the Fed meeting this week. So on Wednesday, we got the Fed meeting. But yeah. A 15% correction with mild bad news compared to the past corrections too. Depends on which past corrections. A correction is only defined as a 10+% drop. So, you know, it depends on what we're comparing it to. If you compare a crash to a correction, then yeah, the crash is going to be more profound. You know, it just depends. You know, correction is just technically defined as 10% plus, which is what we're at now. We're at a correction territory. And again, maybe it's time to buy it up. I don't know. I really don't know. Hey, well, good luck, infantry. Yeah, I get a lot of people that mention BBAI, but it's a penny stock. I just kind of avoid it, to be honest. It's just not really my style. It never tends to hold. Like, if you look at it, every time it spikes, it typically fails. Like, here's the long-term trend of BBAI. It spikes, fails, spikes, fails. Looks like a bunch of pump and dumps, to be honest. I'm not going to touch this thing. Is it really worth buying it on these spikes? I don't necessarily think so. Like, I'm not buying in on these. The likelihood is that it's going to go back down. Pretty obvious. I don't know. We don't know whether higher or lower retail sales is good or bad. We really don't. Yeah. Yeah, retail sales expected at 0.6% month over month. Core retail sales expected at 0.3%. Yeah, so here's the news that I got today. We got a couple different ones, but there we go. Let me catch back up with the chat. Hey, thank you for the donation. Is JP Morgan a buy? Well, depends on the time frame you're looking to hold it. It's on a big correction / pullback. You know, JP Morgan is dipping down from 282s basically. It was at 282s. It's now down to 225s. So it's a big percentage drop for JP Morgan. I tend to like it long term. It's probably my favorite bank long term to hold. Short term, who knows though? Like anything could happen short term. Not an investment professional, not liable if you lose. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. With that said, yeah, I don't know. Whether you should buy it right now, I don't know. I don't know if this correction is done. It really depends on what happens for the Fed meeting this week. We got the Fed meeting this week. We have GTC, which is going to have sympathy movement everywhere. So dead cat bounce or full recovery. It depends on how the market reacts to a lot of the catalysts this week, I think. QCOM, SoFi down in pre-market. Let's take a look. Yeah, here's BBAI. What is SOF? It's got to be some type of treasury bill ETF maybe. Yeah, SoFi has been on a little move. You know, it started going up in late last year. Went all the way up to 18s. Back down to 12s now. So, and I like the idea of SoFi. I'm just not sure. You know, if we take a look at the earnings graph here for SoFi. You know, it did finally have its profitable quarter, but last quarter was profitable, but it's been struggling to find profitability. And if we look at like their expectations for their next earnings release, let's see what it is. April 28th is when they release earnings. So right here. Yeah, they're expecting 4 cents a share, so a big decrease, but it's still a profitable quarter, so that's good, I guess. I don't know. I like the idea of SoFi. It's been a little unreliable stock-wise, but I think long-term is okay. I don't think it's perfect, but, you know. Yeah, well, that's the nature of the market, Healy. Oh, we also have quad witching this week, I believe, on Friday. They beat earnings every time, but they sandbag them. Yeah, that's probably true. All right. They beat earnings every time, yeah. Nvidia and writes these contracts. Yeah, I mean, when you're young is the time to take risks. I'm not telling you guys to take risks, but generally speaking, in investing terms, I've said this once and I'll say it again, and I kind of go on this rant every little bit, but it's an important rant for, I think, people in general to understand, right? You got to understand people's bias. Older people are going to be biased towards safe haven assets, risk off assets, like the least risky investments. That's going to be their bias. Why? Because they're retiring earlier, like sooner than you are. And so they are more naturally weighted towards protecting what they've built so that they can retire comfortably. And that's an understandable thing, I think. But if you really want to make big money, like a lot of the money that some of the older population makes right now is going to be rendered obsolete because of inflation. And this is what they don't really tell you in the context of like, hey, you know, invest for 20 or 30 years and, you'll earn millions. It's like, yeah, technically you will, but what they don't tell you is that millions are not going to be as valuable at that point in time because of inflation. You'll still probably make some money, but it's not going to be, you're not going to be rolling around in, you know, Rolls Royces. In fact, inflation is going to take a huge chunk of that money. You'll still make money probably, but that's the point. And so when you're young, you have to take risks. If you really want to be really well off while you're young, I don't want to live good only when I'm 65. Who knows if, I mean, I'm gonna put it out there, I'm gonna make it to 65, I hope. But I want to live good when I'm young. And if you want to live good when you're young, you got to take a little bit more risks than just investing, you know. And that's life. But that's just me, not an investment professional. Don't copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and yeah. QBTS. Yeah, I mean, quantum stocks flying up. This probably, you know, what we're seeing right now is quantum stocks move, and in the wake of the Nvidia GTC conference. And so quantum stocks are moving in the wake of Nvidia GTC. We got QBTS at $11 a share now, $11 a share. You can kind of see the last 20-day run. This thing started to take off really a couple weeks ago. Still running pretty big, all the way up to 11s. Now, a lot of these quantum stocks are running big too. And so, yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, calculated risks and opportune moments is the right recipe, I think. But you got to be okay with losing too, because a lot of people lose, you know. And you know, there's that famous saying: most people fail 6 times before they succeed at business. That's in my opinion, in my experience, that's pretty true, right? Like you fail about 6 times, but if you keep on pushing and you keep attempting different things, eventually one will stick. You know, and then you try another one, it fails, another one, it fails, another one fails, and then eventually another one will stick, and you just kind of keep doing that until you get multiple ones that work, and then you're pretty set. That's life, you know. How do you think the stock market will react today? I'm not sure. The market's up a lot. It depends on what they say during the Nvidia GTC conference. You know, like a lot of the time we get big hype into conferences like this, but we can also see fickle reactions to it, right? So if they don't say the perfect thing for Nvidia GTC, if Jensen doesn't step out there and say the perfect thing, it is possible we see drops. I'm not saying we will. He typically does a pretty good job of tailoring it to get some good reaction. So I think we'll be all right. But who knows? Looking at our poll numbers, we said, are you bearish on today's? Are you? Oh wait, nobody corrected my poll here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to end this poll. Here we got a couple hundred votes. We got about 60-40 bullish on the report. I'm gonna do another one. Are you bullish or bearish on today's GTC keynote? I think this is the more interesting one, actually, because this is the bigger event. Retail sales is important. We'll watch it for sure, but like the keynote speech is gonna, in my opinion, be much more influential. All right, guys, so we are going to trade. We did pretty good last week trading. I'll show you my trades last week. I will show you my trades last week. We did pretty good. Again, we're currently trading 3 funded accounts. This was my trading last week. I wonder why. Let me see, hold on. Didn't trade that one at all. Lost a little bit on that one. But my main account were green. So this was my day last week. I'll show you the week. So we made 86, lost 180, made 240, made 81, 82, and overall we made about $227 last week in one of our accounts. Very small. I'm in the profit building stage where I just want to build up a small profit first, and then we'll figure it out. The keynote is at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I think. Actually, no, I think it's at 11. Hold on. Let me ask AI this. All right, remember, so today we're going to be watching core retail sales. All right, that's the bigger report. Regular retail sales, which is the headline report, includes all sales from retail stores, online purchases, and food services. It's the most volatile because it includes gas and automobiles, which are highly sensitive to price swings. A strong number suggests consumer strength, but can be misleading if it's driven by volatile sectors. Core retail sales, which excludes automobiles and gas, it's the most watched report. It excludes automobiles and gasoline, making it more stable and better at tracking underlying consumer trends. The Fed and markets focus more on core retail sales because it actually reflects discretionary spending, which drives economic growth. So core retail sales, the bigger market mover, because it provides a clear picture of consumer demand. The headline number can still have an impact, but if it's strong due to a spike in gas or sales or auto sales, it may not indicate real economic growth. So that's at 8:30 today. That's in less than an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so this is at 12 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central Time. So this is at noon today. At noon today is when the... yeah, we're going to stream this live. So don't worry. We streamed the last one live as well. Yeah, it is Triple Witching Friday today, too, or this Friday. Who? All right, guys. Hey, we can break some stuff down today. Again, we got retail sales. Recent tariff threats have intensified global trade tensions, raising concerns about a recession. The Federal Reserve is anticipating to maintain current interest rates this week in an upcoming meeting, with potential rate cuts expected later in the year due to ongoing trade conflicts. The 10-year Treasury yield increased to 4.32%, reflecting investor anticipation of forthcoming inflation data. Gold prices have surged. NASDAQ, S&P, Dow all rebound Friday. On Friday, the University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index fell sharply, indicating bleak economic expectations, as well as high inflation. All right, yeah, we got retail sales data today. Broadcom is back up some as well here. Let's get ready to trade. Let me find it. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here. Pretty good. Let's put this up on the screen. Nvidia up a lot, so we're definitely going to be watching tech. Go. All right. Let's see if we trade some today. So as of today, the U.S. Census Bureau has not released the retail sales report. It is scheduled for release today. Prelim data from the Chicago Fed Advanced Retail Trade Summary indicates that retail and food service sales, excluding motor vehicles, are projected to decrease by 0.8% in February on a seasonally adjusted basis. It reflects consumer concerns about economic uncertainty and the impacts of recent tariffs. All right, guys. Let's see. We got NASDAQ surging up. Honestly, Nvidia's up big too, man. Look at Nvidia. So again, Nvidia's. I guess people are super optimistic. Let me see if there's some news. I want to say it's sympathy movement, but who knows what the real reason of this is. Let's check a look. GTC 2025 could reignite Nvidia's stock rally, but only if B300 AI server roadmap and scaling concerns are addressed, as top analysts. So that's me. I guess that's what's causing some optimism. Why is there Christmas music right here? Let me scroll back up, catch back up on the chat. The keynote speech is at 12 p.m. today, guys. 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Central Time. It's at that 12 p.m. Central Time is 1 o'clock Eastern. Yeah. Bro. Dude, I freaking hate AI sometimes, dude. Stop putting stock symbols in parentheses. I gotta yell at AI sometimes. There we go. Nvidia's GTC 2025 kicks off its GPU Tech Conference today in San Jose. It runs from today, March 17th, to March 21st. So we might get some volatilities. We might get some volatility over the next few days. But the big thing is the keynote, right? Like, you got a bunch of other segments that they're going to talk about, but it's all less exciting than today. And so again, CEO Jensen Huang's keynote. Oh wait, is it today or tomorrow, the keynote? Hold on, it might be tomorrow. Hold on, chat. Wait. Hold on. AI just said it was on the 18th. Let me look this up. I might be wrong. So I know the conference starts today, but when's the keynote? It's Tuesday. I'm stupid. I'm sorry, guys. It is not today. I'm going to end this poll. So the keynote is actually tomorrow. Y'all were right. I was wrong. Y'all are smart. I'm dumb. Y'all are very good looking. I'm not attractive. Man, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know why I thought it was today. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow at noon is when it is. All right. My bad. All right, so today we have retail sales at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right. What, you think he's going to come out in this Fonzie jacket again? Look at this jacket, bro. Look, here he is. Look, Jensen's just living life as a billionaire, man. Look at this jacket. I mean, are you living life or if you don't wear a leather jacket like Fonzie after becoming a billionaire, bro? You see Jeff Bezos do the same thing. Like, they all turn into freaking bad guys from Marvel movies as soon as they become billionaires. Like, they just end up... Like, I think what happens, this is what happens. This is the psychology behind this, is that what happens is that they grow up, and these guys are super nerds, right? They're super nerds. Nerds run the world and are usually your boss. So, you know, you can make fun of nerds, but, like, they're usually going to be slapping you with their wallet eventually. But anyways, a lot of these guys grow up and they're super nerds. Then they become some of the most famous and wealthy people in the world. And they want to shed that stereotype. And so what do? You see Jeff Bezos. He's definitely on some type of TRT. In the gym, you see Mark Zuckerberg learn like jujitsu. You see Jensen Huang, wear his, who knows what kind of alligator skin jacket, leather jacket. Who knows what that is? But, they're trying to shed that nerd stereotype. He needs Terminator glasses. He really does. All right, guys. So, yeah, the Nvidia GTC conference is tomorrow. Not today. My bad. I'm sure if Pawn is watching the stream, I'm sure he's yelling at me right now. Let me see. Let's check it. No. Okay. Yeah. DuPont named CEO chairman for electronics spinoffs. Porsche thinking about a partial sale with Volkswagen shares. Build says Bank of England set to keep rates on hold as global uncertainty mounts. Is that today? Volkswagen is going to launch 11 new models in China, and the U.S. growth outlook was just cut by the OECD on uncertainty and tariffs. Mexico is now forecast to see a recession, but much depends on the tariff level. All right, so we got some news here. This is actually some pretty... The U.S. economic growth outlook, and even more so Canada and Mexico's, was lowered today by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development due to the policy uncertainty and the possibility impact from tariffs. The Paris-based OECD, and again, I'm quoting this article that was done by Steve Goldstein, but again, the Paris-based OECD is assuming that not just tariff increases between China and the U.S. are maintained, as well as those on steel and aluminum, but also that 25 percentage point tariffs on all Mexican and most Canadian goods are assessed. In that scenario, the U.S. economy is projected to slow by 2.2% this year from 2.6% last year, and slow further to 1.6% in 2026. Canada, in that last scenario, would avoid a recession but see a drastic slowdown to 0.7% in both 25 and 26, while Mexico would fall into a recession, shrinking by 1.3% this year and again by 0.6% next year, end quote. Again, I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm just kind of reading potential outlooks here. All right, guys. So, look. I remember I used to want a leather jacket as a kid, right? Like, I used to want a leather jacket, Like, bro, I grew up on Nick at Night and watched Fonzie all the time, And Fonzie was cool, man. I wanted to be Fonzie, Never really got one. I got a brown one. I wanted a leather jacket. I remember I asked my parents, and I was like, hey, I want a leather jacket. And I'm thinking they're going to get me like the black biker leather jacket, like with like a wallet chain, and I was going to be some big cool kid at 5th grade. Instead, they got me like a brown one, so it was more like James Dean and, I wasn't into it as much. I just wasn't into it as much. I wanted the black one. It's all right. It's all right. Anyways, NASDAQ up to 19 point. NASDAQ almost back up to 20K. And I think one of the most interesting levels here on the NASDAQ is 20K. We're right over it. Here's 20K way up here. But, you know, 20K is a big number. 20K, big psychological level on the NASDAQ here. I think if we're going to watch a spot, it's 20K. I think if we get close to it, you know, the likelihood that we're at least going to break it, or at least tapping it, goes up. Yeah, exactly, Pawn. Still cool, just not as cool as the other one. Yeah, they're talking about getting rid of income tax. And, like, I'm not even agreeing with any politician, but I would love that. Let's get rid of income tax. I'm for it, you know. Honestly, though, I don't know if it would ever work. But it's a, you know, pleasant thought for every business person. I just don't know if it would ever work. All right, guys. Yeah. Again, we got the February retail sales report today. Investors are keenly awaiting this report to gauge consumer spending trends and weaken economic uncertainties. In January, retail sales fell by 0.9% due to adverse weather conditions. Nvidia's GTC kicks off its conference today. We got Nvidia's GTC keynote speech tomorrow at 12 o'clock. The president's recent tariff threats have intensified global trade, raising concerns about a recession. 10-year treasury yields have spiked recently. And, yeah. All right, so we got our poll here. All right, guys, so we got our x.com post here. If you want to see our x.com post, again, every single day we post an update on what's going on in finance. Everything going on, where bond yields are, stock news, market news, futures news, economic reports, hype up, and then results, all that good stuff. All right, if you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Give your boy a follow here. We appreciate it. How many of you are GRR? Yeah, I don't really know much about this. Is this a quantum stock? Is this a quantum stock? Yeah, again, if you want the Top Step discount, you can get it for $49 if you click this link. And really, it's discounted from what is it normally? It's like 100 something bucks usually. So for 49 bucks, that's the big discount. You can check out the link right there if you want to help support the channel. They're an affiliate of mine. I am biased because I get paid by them. But Top Step is great. They give you a demo, test your skill with it. You pass the test, they fund you. You fail, you only lose what you pay for it. It really is a beautiful like test of skill that teaches people how to trade. You got to learn how to follow rules. In the futures market, it's incredibly similar to day trading stocks. No PDT rule in futures, so you can buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. Patterns are similar as well. And again, if you take the $49 a month Top Step account and you make $3K in profit on it without losing $2,000 first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you $50K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first $10K in profit before you even have a split once you're funded. And if you fail it, you're out $49, and then you get a practice account that also includes real-time data that you can learn on. It's just really built for traders to learn, and it's a lot cheaper to lose this than it is to fund your own account with thousands of dollars and lose that. And I think it's just it's useful for traders. Most day traders lose. Everybody thinks they're gonna be different, but most day traders lose. So it's a lot cheaper to learn here and lose here versus funding thousands and losing that. But again, they're an affiliate of mine. I am biased. But they've paid out almost $200 million in the last 4 years. They fund thousands of traders. Great way to learn. You can check out the link in the chat right there. Trying to catch up on chat. Palantir investors. Yeah, I don't really want to. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a big leather jacket guy anymore. I was when I was young, right? Like I think I had like one. As I've gotten older, I just, yeah. I don't want to get paint thrown on me like Michael Scott, Like, I'm just not, it's just not my style anymore. I'm more of like a sweater person. Yeah, I'm definitely not hating on Palantir's movement. Palantir up huge. I mean, I'm not buying it either. But I'm definitely not mad at anybody for making money on it. Let them live their life. If they make money on it, good, Usually people are just mad they lost and they missed out on stuff. I think also Palantir's had a really high PE ratio, so it's kind of one of those stocks that people are really nervous about sometimes. A lot of emotion tied to it. The only people threatened by tariffs is Mexico and Canada. The other tariff policies are literally going to tariff other countries the same amount that they're currently tariffing. Yeah. We have the Wednesday rate decision. Right now they're almost certain to pause. 99 to 1% likelihood of a cut, or of a pause. 1% chance of a cut. Alright, guys. So many of my friends got sucked into Palantir and lost lots of money. Yeah, but I mean, like, acting like it's a scam, like, look. Okay. Palantir has made crazy big moves. So, like, look at how many people made money here. Honestly, if your friends bought it up here, Guy and Van, they're buying it at a pretty peak spot for any investor or trader, right? So if they got sucked into buying it up here, I mean, I'm not going to say they deserve it, but they're buying a stock that has already made massive percentage moves, and eventually the train is going to stop. Again, it's like picking up pennies in front of a train track. I love that analogy because it makes sense, and it's the easiest way to show people what's going on. Like, you might be able to make money. Eventually the train is going to come through. Or on the other way, eventually the train is going to stop, and jumping on that bandwagon is not going to work as well. And so I don't think we can really shame a stock for correcting like it needed to. I mean, it went up huge percentages, and I think when you look at the broad view of it, since October, it's still up well over 100%. And so, And remember, people asked me about this one too. People asked me like about this one like a month and a half to 2 months ago. People said, "Hey John, what do you think about Palantir?" I said, "I like the stock. I'm definitely not buying it right here. It's too high. It's the PE ratio is too big. It's just not something I'm interested in buying. And yeah, I mean, most people should be able to recognize extension. And so, and the problem is that people get so greedy that they, like, sometimes it's kind of like, you ever heard the story about a raccoon trying to, like, how some people have raccoon traps, and the way they have them is that they put something shiny with a small hole. They put something shiny in the hole, and the raccoon sticks his hand in because it wants the shiny thing. And when he does, he has to put his hand in a ball, and that makes his hand unable to come out. But he refuses to let go of the shiny thing. He's so obsessed with the shiny thing that he refuses to let go and get his hand out. So he just kind of sits there stuck, and then whoever it is runs up and grabs it. That's kind of like Palantir, like it's very big. It's a huge company. It's really shiny, and investors get too infatuated with it. And they just end up buying it up where it's way too extended. Now, long term, it might still be good. If you DCA into it over time, it might still be okay. But there's obviously risks. It's up a huge amount. Yeah, I mean, they're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased regarding Top Step. Great company, though. I like it. All right. Do I want to trade right now? I don't know. Yeah, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern time is when the Nvidia GTC conference is. So we got to watch for that, too. We got retail sales in 26 minutes. Let's see what that looks like also. Let me do another poll here, and the poll is going to say, when does the Fed cut rates? We're going to do June. May, June, July, September plus is May, June. I'm not even going to make this month an option, just because. When does the FOMC start cutting rates? May, June, July, September plus. I think that's a good question. I'm going to go with June right now because that's the most probable one, but that is obviously subject to change. All right, we're still getting dips here. Look at these pullbacks. We're about to tap the 200 exponential. So I am a little tempted to buy up something here. You know what? We'll buy one contract here. We'll keep it very small, and we'll see if we can get into the green and then add to it only in the green if we get it. Powell will be forced to cut rates. No. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think Powell's going to cut rates until June at least. And that's what, right now, the probability is like a 60% chance of a cut in June. Yeah, we're taking a little baby trade. It's pre-market. I'm not really trusting anything right now. He's definitely not cutting on Wednesday. All right, guys, we got 25 minutes left. 25 minutes. Yeah, so we got one contract, but I could be a little loose with it. Alright, guys. So we're sitting tight, basically flat right now. Nvidia, if it bounces at the 123 level at the previous, or at the 200 exponential volume weighted average price, that's the spot we're looking like, but... Yeah, so hit the live button, Ryan. So right now, when does the FOMC start cutting rates? 36% thinking May. Way too early. 30% thinking June. 14% thinking July. 20% in September. I don't think it's going to be May. I think May is too far out. I think it'll be June, July is when we're going to start cutting. It depends on what data shows up as. Like, we got the FOMC meeting next week. We got PCE. So it depends on when all that stuff starts happening. All right, so we're down a little bit here. I'll cut this if we break under the 200 exponential. It's a tiny little trade, but the chances, like, the only thing I worry about is that we're going to tap under this and then rip back up and continue up in this upward trend, you know. So I don't want to be too loose with it. This level seems good too, but I don't know if I want to let it go that far. The big thing, honestly, is retail sales data coming out in 20 minutes. I really don't want to get stuck in holding a position through that. So, number 3 most valuable podcast. Real estate. Do you really think real estate doubles in the next 24 months? I mean, the only worry about that is inflation, to be honest. Alright, so we got a little rise here. We're kind of flat on this position, though. Nvidia did bounce right here at this 200 exponential, though, so we got to give it a time. But we do have retail sales, again, 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. You mean having? Real estate needs rate cuts. Well, I don't know. I don't think, like, if we look at the current 30-year mortgage rates, they're about 6.6%. So we're now green here. Nice little green move. Yeah, we are going to add to this if we get like a good spot to add. Well, we might not need it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut that right there. We just made 25 bucks. Not bad for pre-market. Got a little cushion on the day now. We got the 200 exponential bounce. We got a nice pullback to it on a pretty strong trend. So look at the 200 EMA right here. This is what we were playing, and yeah, we waited for it. We literally bounced directly off of it. Small little baby trade, but we got a cushion now on the day, so. I'm on Top Step X right now. We got a big chance to go up or down on Bitcoin. Oof. Dude, I don't know what happened with my main monitor. It just kind of made me panic. My monitor just cut out for a second, dude. Weird. Music cut out, everything. Yeah, Disney at under $100. I don't quite like it yet. I like buying Disney around like 90, 85, 70, 75. That's usually my big spot to buy it. AI is taking over since you yelped at what? Is Marvel Tech a good buy? I don't know. I love Disney World, bro. I really do. I like Disney World, man. I went as a kid. Always loved it. We go with my family pretty regularly. Yeah, I don't know. Bitcoin, man, it's really one of those different things, man. Like, which way Bitcoin goes short term, nobody freaking knows. Long term, it's pretty strong, I think, but short term, nobody knows. GameStop earnings in a few days. Where's GameStop at, though? GameStop still sitting at 20s. Had a hard time breaking over 30s and holding, understandably so. I don't know, man. I think y'all asking about different stocks, I really don't know. TGCT seems to be pretty cheap down here. And the last time I bought Target for a swing trade and made a lot of money on it, it was right around where it's at now. And so I tend to like Target. But who freaking knows? What do you mean DW? Oh, Disney World. Oh, yeah. Disney World's fun, bro. You got to just enjoy it, you know. You got to do it right. Like, you got to get fast passes, plus you got to do it right. Yeah, regarding retail sales, I don't know. We don't know whether the market wants higher retail sales, which indicates economic growth. We don't know if they want lower retail sales, indicating less inflation fears, right? So we don't know which one they prefer right now, especially in the looming rate cut or looming rate decision this week on Wednesday. Gold has been breaking all-time highs, but it recently dipped down this morning. Gold just pulled back under 3K. If we take a look at gold up here on the top right, gold is now at 29.90s. So gold's pulling back some here. Yeah, I would never go to Disney World without some type of pass. Never, ever. It's just not worth it. Alright, chat. My wife was Princess Jasmine for years at Disney World. Hey, nice. Congrats, man. That's cool. Any particular reason the market is pretty much red? What do you mean by pretty much red? Nvidia green. Gold is green. We can look at like the Q. Slightly red. SPY. Slightly red, but mostly flat on the day. I think this is what happened. We had a big green day Friday. And now we're pulling back a little bit and kind of testing here. So we had a pretty green day, like a rebounding day on Friday. The VIX went down a lot on Friday, so we just kind of had a small bounce back. Good morning from all the way out here in West Texas. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, so my wife and I watched this show, Landman. And they've got some cool like trails and stuff in West Texas. But, bro, we are in Houston. And so when we look at West Texas, we're like, hey, we should visit. We realize it's like half of them, like it's closer to Baton Rouge than we are to West Texas. It's like 8, 10, 12 hours away from us. Nvidia up 2% and he says red. Well, yeah, because the market is red. Nvidia's, look, here's the previous closing price. All right, previous closing price. Here's the market. What does that mean? It means red. All right, here's Nvidia. Here's the previous closing price. So Nvidia is up a very, very small amount. Very, very small amount. Nvidia is not even up 1%. So, yeah, I'm not sure the 2.2% number you're given, but Nvidia is actually up about 1%. Tiny amount. Friday was different, but. Hey, thank you for the donation. Hey, Jay, I keep feeling as an investor, I'm waiting for the downfall of the average person. The more liquidity taken, the higher the chance of a mech that gives them money. Is this healthy? It's normal to look for discounts. It's normal to look for discounts and to want value. And so that's okay. Like when markets are mania driven and like they're up way too much, it's reasonable to expect a pullback and to want to pull back, even if it means some traders lose money. There's always a winner and a loser in markets. And so it's not something that you should necessarily feel bad about, wanting value, wanting cheap stocks, not really wanting to buy at obscene prices. That's pretty standard. That's pretty normal. I'm a bottom feeding dip buyer. I want the most weakness to buy up. But I appreciate the $10 though, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys, 10 minutes for retail sales, 10 minutes. All right, guys. Alright, so we're still kind of consolidating after bouncing at the 200 EMA. Gold is taking a really big turnaround here. I don't know if gold is waiting for the Nvidia GTC. But gold is falling here this morning. Canadian housing starts annualized came in at 229K versus 250K expected, higher than expected housing starts. MicroStrategy purchased 130 Bitcoins between March 10th and 16th at an average price of 83K. Did we have the rate decision of some sort? Let me see. No, not today. This week we got a bunch of rate decisions. We got the FOMC rate. We've got the Bank of Japan rate decision. I think we got the Bank of England. Let me see. We got Canadian CPI tomorrow. Yeah, we got the Bank of England rate decision on Thursday. Followed by jobless claims, Philly Fed Index, existing home sales. Friday we got, I thought we had the Bank of Japan rate this week, but it might be next. I'll have to look. All right, guys, 7 minutes really, 7 minutes left. Yeah, JPAL's Wednesday. We got the rate decision Wednesday, so we're going to stream that live, of course, like we always do. Oh, yeah, Nvidia has their quantum day. I did see that. March 20th. A lot of quantum is up. I got promoted to Target's corporate. It is now. Can't buy and sell Target stock with information about the business. Hey, congrats, bro. That's great. That's great. How do we donate to you? You hit the money sign if you want. You don't need to, though. I do pretty well despite your donations, and so I appreciate them, but you don't need to, you know. What is Tesla doing? I haven't even looked at Tesla this morning, honestly. Let me take a look. Tesla went to 250. Tesla down. Honestly, it's a shocking thing when you think about it. So Tesla stock and Elon Musk's net worth is now down 50%. It's down 50% from its highs at around 500. Tesla at 250 now. 50% decrease in Tesla stock. That's a crazy amount. That's a crazy amount. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes. Got about 1,000 people here. Interesting. So Canada might be downgrading an order for fighter jets from Lockheed Martin. Where's Nike at? I was buying it earlier. See, I remember buying Nike at like 68s. It's now at 72s. Yeah, I mean, Elon just, again, I've said it once, I'll say it again over the last few years, but Elon, there's risks getting really outspoken politically when you're selling things to consumers, you know? I've really been saying this for freaking years. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked that it ended up happening this bad, where Tesla stock, Tesla stock's still over $240 a share, so it's still not like, it's not like it's the end of Tesla or anything, but man, 50% drop in Tesla, that's crazy. But this is what happens when you get really outspoken politically and you're selling things to consumers, as well as the fact that, like, he's on the wrong side of typically the people that buy EVs are on the other side, right? That he's like against. And so when you're selling EVs, you might not want to like, get really outspoken on the other political side that doesn't buy EVs. You know, that's the problem. I don't think any of the competition is really there. Every time I look outside, I see a Tesla. And so I very rarely see a Rivian. I very rarely see anything else. The biggest risk to Tesla are legacy automobile companies like Honda EVs or Dodge EVs and stuff and the likes of that. But even still, yeah. All right, guys. 3 minutes before retail sales releases. Yeah, I mean, there might be tons in your area, Ryan. I'm talking about just the general, like, looking around. We got 2.5 minutes before retail sales data, guys. We got about 1,200 here watching. Again, retail sales expected to show up at 0.6% for regular core retail sales, which, again, core excludes, what does core exclude in retail sales? It's vehicles and, I don't want to give the wrong thing. Core excludes autos and gas. So vehicles and gas. That one is probably the more weighted one. That's expected at 0.3%. So this drops in 2 minutes, guys. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream so you can actually watch this. Again, hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. Yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Join us. We do this live every day. We cover all the big economic news, market news right here. We don't sell a course, don't sell a service, don't claim to be even good traders. We just kind of give people economic reports, trade live, talk about markets, finance, stocks, trading, talk about treasury yields, economics, all that good stuff. We stream the full Fed meeting, the full Nvidia conference, keynote. And so subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate it. All right, guys, we got 1 minute left. A little bit over 1 minute. All right, guys, here we go. Be ready. We also have the New York State Empire Manufacturing Index. I didn't even realize we got the New York State Empire Manufacturing Index today too. It's expected at minus. This timer's a little early. It's expected at minus 1.9. Minus 1.9. Again, 0.3% expected for month-over-month core retail sales. 0.6% expected for regular retail sales data. All right, guys, 15 seconds. We'll do a timer countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the report right now. All right, guys, retail sales showed up at 0.2%, weaker than expected. Retail sales, core retail sales showed up as expected. Regular retail sales showed up weaker than expected at 0.2% versus 0.6% expected. Weaker than expected retail sales. The market originally has popped up on this report. But now it's retracing back down a little bit. So again, core retail sales showed up at 0.3% for core retail sales month over month. Regular retail sales showed up at 0.2%. Retail sales excluding gas and autos showed up at 0.5%, stronger than expected. And again, we've had some candlestick movement, but nothing big right now. Again, 0.2% versus 0.6% expected. We're going to put this up on screen so the market moves. Again, we'll show you core. Core actually showed up. It depends on what you classify core. Retails excluding gas and autos showed up at 0.5%. So if we're looking at core, which I guess they classify as excluding just autos, it showed up at It should have 0.3%. Alright guys, so here's the report. On screen you can kind of see it. Market honestly has gone up some from this report. We're up a little bit on it. Not a huge green move, but somewhat green. Jensen in his leather jacket. Yeah, that or Powell. You know, so it's pretty overwhelmingly expected that Powell is going to pause rates. But what does matter, though, is what he says. So what Powell says during the speech matters. During the press conference, the Q&A, that matters. Again, Nvidia actually went up with the market on this, too. Interesting. So now we're dipping down. We're at 19.7 thousand here, 19.7K. Again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. We're going to be day trading live. We've already made a little bit on this today. We made a little $25 gain. And the beautiful part about Top Step X is that there's zero commission. I can make tiny micro trades with zero commission, a tiny amount of fees per contract. So the New York Manufacturing Index just released much later here. So I'm not sure why it showed up this late, but here's the New York Fed Manufacturing Index. It showed up at -20 versus -1.5 expected. So much weaker New York Fed Manufacturing Index than expected here. But again, if you want to check out Top Step, there's zero commission. I can take $25 gain and still net a majority of this. Only 74 cents in fees per micro contract, tiny amount of fees. Top Step gives you a demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $49 for the base one. They're going to give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit before you lose 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K with a 90% split. If you fail it, you get a demo account with real-time data that you can practice on. And what this does is it teaches you how to follow rules. It's $49 a month. You're still risking something, but most day traders end up depositing thousands and losing thousands. And so it's noticeably cheaper to do it this way. A great way to learn how to trade. And if you pass the test, you get a 50K funded account with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K in profit. So that's similar to funding your own account. But if you fail, $49. It's not the end of the world. It's the best of both worlds. They've paid out almost $200 million. Been around for over 12 years. In the last 4 years, they've funded almost $200 million and paid out almost $200 million, I think. So great way to learn how to day trade. If you want to check them out, they're an affiliate of mine. I am biased. I get paid by them. So I am biased in their favor. The markets ended up running up. There's the link in chat right now if you want to check them out. Help support your boy here in this channel. Again, if you want the zero commission, use Top Step X. It's the only platform that gives you zero commission through my link. But with that said, understand all this stuff on screen. Apple's running up a little bit. The market's popping up some too. Look at this. Nvidia's moving up some too. Here's Apple on the right side. So it's testing these highs up here. Looks like the market liked retail sales for some reason. I would paper trade first, D. Mike Spike's getting back. There we go. All right, yeah, I don't know what happened. I had to turn off my mic and turn it back on. For some reason, it just stopped working. Let me know if that's better, if that's cleaner, if that's smoother. It should be pretty smooth. Look at this resistance level up here tapping. We're going to keep holding it. I almost want to short it, but I'm not going to go against the trend here. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so look at the market pop up a little bit here. We got Broadcom ripping up. Apple's moving up. Market has been rebounding some here. Let's see if it holds. Good. All right. Test. All right, yeah, we're good. Market's still testing this top up here, which is interesting. We asked people, when does the Fed start cutting rates? Do y'all really think we start cutting rates in May? It seems a little far-fetched. No, I mean, anything could happen. It's all data dependent. But yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff's pulling back big, man. A lot of stuff's dipping big. Let me do a update. Yeah, so again, retail sales data showed up hotter than expected in some areas, lower than expected. Retail sales increased by 0.2% in February. Year-over-year sales rose 3.1%. Food and beverage sales up 3.9%. See, it did it again, bro. That's so strange, bro. My monitor just completely cut out. Weird, dude. Yeah, like my monitor just went, like, it's super strange. Weird. Yeah, so food and beverage up 3.9% year over year. Non-store retail has increased by 6.5% compared to the previous year. The previous month's revision sales decline was revised from -0.9 to -1.2. Gotta yell at AI. Hey, bro, you didn't include core. Yeah. Yeah, actually, let me go check that real quick. We should be good. We should be good. All right, look at the market run here, guys. Wow. So again, look at the levels that we have, though. So we went up to this level, stopped, rejected. Now we went up to this level. Let's see if we continue to reject or what happens here. But Apple running up big. Nvidia, obviously, taking off. Is the correction over, guys? All right, guys. So here's retail sales data. If you want to, again, give me a follow on x.com. We've been growing that lately. All right, it says the moderate growth in both overall and core retail sales indicates a cautious but steady consumer spending environment. Certain sectors like food and beverage stores and non-store retailers show significant year-over-year growth. The overall pace suggests consumers are mindful about economic conditions. These insights are crucial for policymakers and investors. Yeah. And again, if you want to check it out, here's a post on retail sales data here. You can give me a follow on x.com. We do at least a couple posts every day. Am I going to cut what trade? Previous day's highs. Yeah, previous day's highs are big. Previous closing prices are big. They're all milestone levels that you can base a lot of trades around for sure. See, look at this. Like, and again, you can kind of see my levels. We use a lot of previous days highs, to be honest, in our levels here. But like, look, we stop here, we stop here, we stop here. We keep going up, but like you can kind of see we reject here, we reject here. And so it's really interesting because usually at least we're gonna get like a scalping move that we can react on the levels to. And I might want to start doing that on my levels. Is once we get to them, take like a quick scalp, and if we break over them like significantly, I just cut it. That might be a trade idea that I start working on. Google's up today as well. No, I'm a scalper. I'm not gonna hold a contract that long. I mean, I made money on it, but we're not in it anymore. I made money on this dip, and then we ran, and then I sold up here. John, can you help me understand yields action? Sometimes yields are just a different animal, though, brother. Yields decreased overnight, so they gapped down overnight. They ended up going up on this report. I mean, my guess is probably, let me see. I don't know why yields are honestly moving up. I really don't. Yields have been moving up probably because the market's moving up. All right, so the yields and markets seem to be following each other a lot recently. As markets are going down, people are worried about recessions, and so yields go down with it. Recently, yields have been moving up after these drops. So if I look at a longer term chart, it looks very similar to like how the market has behaved, which is like, okay, let's put the Q up here. What is this, an hourly chart? Yeah, so again, you can kind of see yields in the market move similarly. They're a little bit different, but similarly. Pullback, consolidation, pullback, consolidation. Let's see, when was this? Tuesday is when yields started to bounce. The 4th. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's pretty similar. It's a little different, but it's similar. But I think yields are going up because the market's going up. It's creating more optimism in the economy. More optimism in the economy means less of a need to cut rates. And so yields follow rates. That's probably what it is. April 1st week is reciprocal tariffs. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Mark, I really don't have any problems with the computer that I'm using. Something that has happened a couple times this morning is that my monitor has gone black, which this is a Odyssey G9 monitor, G7, G9. It's one of those ultra wide 49 inch. And so these monitors are very new. They're huge. I literally replaced all 3 of my bottom monitors with one big monitor here, and so that's all this is. It's just it's a new monitor. Well, no, these ultra wide monitors are new. They're a lot of them are they're very new right now. Like they've only been out for a few years, these ultra wides, and so they kind of run into problems a little bit more than monitors like monitor types that have been around longer. If that all makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really, it doesn't matter either way. Like, I'm not, like, look, I always kind of, you know, you got those people where it's like PlayStation and Xbox, and they like hate the other one. Like, they hate PlayStation. And I feel like it's the same type of people that are kind of manipulated into getting riled up about anything. Like, you can get people like that mad about anything, kind of talk them into getting mad about anything. Like, I'm not going to hate PlayStation just because I have an Xbox. You know, I'm not going to hate Apple computers just because I have a Microsoft. Like, none of that matters. I don't care about any of this stuff. Honestly, I like using Apple computers. You know, and so it's just different. Everybody's different. It's all subjective anyway. You know, but you got those people that just get talked into just like riding, oh, Xbox, I hate PlayStation, or vice versa, PlayStation, I hate Xbox. It's like, dude, be resilient to people trying to manipulate you, you know. Yeah, key to success, huge monitors, yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah, I feel you. Well, Nintendo's is mostly like a really kiddish video game console, so I will judge you if you like Nintendo too much as an adult, because I think that's like a kid's platform. That's like a kid's console, you know. Yeah, I just got one big monitor now. All right, guys, so we did tap off that level. I might look to buy this dip. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're pulling back. Should I buy this dip? If we get down to here, I'm going to buy it. I need to get down to this level, though. I'm not really like, listen, I'm a big Zelda fan, all right? So, like, I really do like some Nintendo products. But, like, is one video game really enough? Like, what other Nintendo classics, or not classics, classics are, a lot of them are Nintendo. What modern Nintendo games are truly meant for adults? You know, I can't really think of any. But maybe that's because I don't play Nintendo. I know my son plays it. My daughter plays it. They play like Splatoon. They play stuff like that, you know. But outside of Zelda is what I say. Like, I like Zelda, but outside of Zelda, what Nintendo games really? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Ocarina of Time, great game. I love Zelda, right? Like, listen, this is coming from somebody that loves Zelda. Honestly, Pawn might be getting mad at me now that I think about saying this. I don't know how much Pawn is into Nintendo. Let me ask him. Actually, I think Pawn probably... I know Pawn plays MLB The Show. And so... I think he plays some other stuff, but... Yeah. No, I get that. I like the Zelda games. Alright, so we're moving back up here. I don't know whether I want to short this 774 level or not. I'm a Zelda guy too. I grew up on Ocarina of Time. Like, I was a huge nerd when I was a kid. Like, when I was my son's age, I created The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, and Ocarina of Time walkthroughs websites. And so I'd create the website, and then I'd create walkthroughs of the video games. This is before the internet had really taken off to where, like, you could find videos of it. This was before video content like that, you know. I would make websites, walkthroughs of this Legend of Zelda. I got some views on these websites too as like a young kid. But yeah. And so I love Zelda games, don't get me wrong. I love Ocarina of Time and all that stuff. But outside of them, I'm not really one that plays. Like, I play Mario Party with my son, you know. But when I want a game as an adult, I play Xbox. Aikido's nonsense. He said, John, you trade like you did judo or Aikido. You have lots of discipline. Aikido's nonsense, sir. All right, I'm going to buy this dip down here. 3 contracts. I just want a small pop. Small pop will take profit. That's small enough. We took half off. I don't know if we got a good fill there. Okay, we did. We got a fill. Hey, how you doing? Alright, so we bought the little dip. We're going to start doing this over and over again, I think, where I wonder, I could probably do this the best with like regular mini contracts. I'm just kind of testing the system right now. Alright, you know what, we'll cut that right there. I didn't make a lot, but I'm just testing the strategy. I think I probably need to hold a little bit longer, but here's my support level. And there's the bounce. Honestly, I probably should do this with regular mini contracts, I'm assuming here. As long as I can try to get some good fills in. Yeah, I never played the Larry game. I don't. When did this come out? Oh, this is before my time. I'm too old for this. The keto's nonsense. But yeah, keto, again, Steven Seagal. I'm not saying some keto techniques are not useful, but like Steven Seagal, man, I think what happened is like a lot of people grew up on 80s movies where they watched Steven Seagal, and in those movies he was this big hard gangster of a guy in every movie, you know. He'd beat everybody up in the movies. So like people that got a little bit too wrapped up into him, they think Steven Seagal as a person is like that, and he's not. Steven Seagal is a black belt in Aikido, and that's it. And so he is a black belt in, man, look at Broadcom come down here. Wow, look at AVGO dip right now. Wow. So he's a black belt in Aikido, which is one of the most nonsense martial arts. All right, guys, we got 25 minutes to market opens. Look at Broadcom. Something happened with Broadcom.com or Broadcom. The current administration has inquired. Oh wait. Robinhood derivatives launch prediction markets hub directly within the app. Wait, they have derivatives? Really? What kind of derivatives do they have? I mean, options are obviously cool, but I don't care about trading futures. I want true derivatives, which means like I want to bet on the Fed decision. I want to bet on true derivatives markets, not just, you know, you can trade those other stuff anywhere. Oh, Michael J. White's definitely the real deal. If him and I fought, he would mess me up, dude. I would get beat up by him for sure. Kenpo is more lethal than jiu-jitsu. I don't think it's as easy as just a blanket statement. I think the easiest way to look at it is MMA. You want to see what works, watch MMA. Jiu-jitsu works usually much better than karate. Karate, there's only been a couple fighters in the UFC that have actually used karate effectively. I mean, some of them use, it depends. One of the current ones is Michael Page. Michael Page. He uses that. Karate can be very good in MMA. Don't get me wrong. Broadcom's still falling down here, guys. Look at this. And look, we did reject at this level here too, but I think a lot of it is Broadcom's sympathy. Interesting. Where's Nvidia at? This is an Nvidia falling, huh? No. Nvidia's still up. Broadcom falling down some. And so I guess the point is it depends on who it is. Izzy was Muay Thai mostly. He competed at Muay Thai. He did a lot of Muay Thai. Izzy was a mix of a lot of different striking arts, as most upper fighters are. Like Alex Pereira, a lot of boxing, Muay Thai. So it just depends. Well, jiu-jitsu is... The difference between jiu-jitsu and karate is that the average jiu-jitsu person is going to be better than the average karate person. Why? Because jiu-jitsu has more exposure to actual sparring. You know, like in regular karate, you very rarely spar. You know, it's certainly not something you do regularly every single time you go. In jiu-jitsu, every single time you go there, you're sparring. You know, oftentimes 100% sparring, like over and over again. And so the exposure test is there for jiu-jitsu more than anything else, especially over karate. But if somebody's really good at karate, you might not be able to touch them and take them down. And so it depends. There's levels to different things, and, you know, depends on which lens you look at it under. But anyways, Tesla falling down some more here, guys. Again, Broadcom falling down. The question is, do I buy this again if it hits 19.7, like 700 right here? 700 seems to be a pretty big milestone level. Tesla breaking down to 246s here. We got Broadcom with a negative reaction. I'm not sure what it was, though, but still looking. I'd like to think I can, but I don't know. Mark Zuckerberg might beat me up, dude. I don't freaking know. He's got the best coaches in the world. I'm just a hobbyist, you know. He probably beat me up. Oh, wrestlers do, you know, for sure. But I'll put it this way though. Like we have wrestlers that come into the gym a lot. And we're like, I've sparred with a lot of wrestlers that have only wrestled and never done jiu-jitsu, and typically you tap them out over and over and over again, and so they just don't know how to defend submissions. And so submissions, they won't, you know. But once they get a couple months of training in, that's a different story completely. So it depends. It really does. Anyways, I'm not even claiming. I'm definitely top 3 worst blue belt of all time ever in the world. But yeah. All right, Nike's breaking down here. So is Nike worth a buy down here? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I mostly use jiu-jitsu as a way to, like, stay in shape. I don't really care about being able to fight or anything like that. Like, I like doing it because it's fun. It's a competition. I like competing against people. It's fun, you know. Also keeps you in really good shape. So Apple at 213s. So Apple right at the previous closing price too. We're in an upward trend in a lot of stuff. I don't know what happened to Broadcom. I'm looking at news. I don't really see any here, but I'm trying to figure out what happened here with AVGO. Intel stock. Is this Intel related? Let's see. Hold on. No, Intel stock is up. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't know why Broadcom dropped like it did. Nah, man. Khabib would mess Tony Ferguson up. Let's just be honest here. Especially, I mean, obviously right now, but, you know, even a couple years ago. Ferguson talks a big game, and I like Tony, but Khabib would ragdoll him around. It wouldn't even be close, I think. Again, Broadcom bouncing all the way back up, and so we can kind of see markets coming back some now. We got 20 minutes left, 20 minutes. Maybe it's a conspiracy. Monitors are going out worldwide. Mine's not going to go out, though. I'm going to put it out there. It's going to work flawlessly all day today. It's a busy week, honestly, man. We got retail sales today already out. We got housing starts, building permits tomorrow. We got Jensen Huang and the Nvidia GTC keynote tomorrow at noon, 1 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, we got the Fed decision. Thursday, jobless claims. Next week, we got a bunch of stuff, too. So it's a busy week. Intel's back up, though. Apple's still down a lot as well, though. Like, Apple has pulled back a heavy amount. And so I think a lot of traders are watching markets right now just to see what we get. I'm still shocked by the amount of... We got 1,100 votes. 41%. 41%. So literally over 400 of the votes were for May. Y'all really think we're going to cut rates in May? I don't know, man. That seems a little early. I think June. But who knows? Yeah. Or they might just be clicking the first option to get the poll out the way. Jed, that's possible too. Definitely top 3 monitors ever. If you think, yeah, I mean, I certainly don't think I could beat Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson would mess me up, dude. Of course I couldn't beat Tony. I couldn't beat Mark Zuckerberg, probably. But Khabib definitely would. Let's just be real. Khabib definitely would. You know, the problem with Tony, let's be like, if we're looking at Tony objectively, CTE, I feel for Tony. Because, like, what happens when you start to get really bad CTE, which is like, it used to be called punch drunk. Like, you've been hit in the head so much, you kind of start to think differently. The first thing that starts is you start to get really paranoid. And so Tony, like, recently had trouble with his spouse because he started getting really paranoid and thinking that she wasn't her and that she was replaced by somebody else, like kind of out there stuff. And unfortunately, that's like the really early signs of CTE, of head trauma. And like eventually it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And that's why like Tony needs to retire, because, and again, I'm surprised people are still hiring him to fight knowing all of this stuff. Like, it's unfortunate because Tony was a beast. He was great. But, like, you see a lot of you see a lot of young fighters retiring early now, which is very smart because they don't want to be Tony Ferguson, you know. Yeah, BJ Penn, too. Same thing. Chuck Liddell's really bad right now. So... Yeah, it dropped, had these 3 or 4 big red candles, and then it bounced all the way back. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes, give or take, 15 minutes. I don't know how we're going to act on rollover days. Apple's still down a lot. Broadcom's still down. We're just waiting. We made a little bit on trading this morning, so we've got some green action. There's a lot of risk due to liquidity shifts and market inefficiencies on rollover days. As traders roll over their positions to the next soon-to-expire contract loses volume. Alright, so we're still sitting at this level that we drew right here. Again, my hands are off. We made money. We haven't had a losing trade today, so that's good. We got a little cushion into the opening bell. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at levels, build levels, and then try to maybe scalp some of those levels this morning at the open is my plan so far today. If we get enough profit, we might switch to regular mini contracts. Do you like any shipping companies? You know, I'm biased against shipping companies specifically because I grew up like in trading around what's called the shipping boom. In shipping, we had a bunch of crazy stuff that happened when I first got started. When I first got started trading, there was a company called Dry Ships, DRYS, that went absolutely crazy. There was a company called SHIP. I think most of these companies are out of business. Or I think Ship has never gone anywhere still. There's just all these crazy companies that have been highly manipulated in the shipping space, so I tend to avoid those companies. All right, guys. Hey, we got 13 minutes. So yeah, this 7. I don't know if I think this is 750 right here. So right here, I think makes sense. Keep it there. And now we're dipping down. So we got some levels we can use. We're still over the 200 exponential on the Nasdaq. Yeah, let me see which contract this is. Hold on. I think Top Step auto rolls, don't they? Oh no, I'm still on H25. Next one is you, right? Yeah, so they don't even have an option, so I think we're waiting. We still gotta wait some. Please explain the 200 exponential. Well, it's a moving average. Now traders get stuck in a lot of different moving averages, but I like using the 200 because it's long-term and milestone. You know, people get wrapped up in a lot of different stuff with like shorter-term moving averages where they have like the 12 and the 15 and the 16 and the 18 and the crossovers and all this different stuff. I don't necessarily find that any of that works. I usually go with something very simple, which is a long-term moving average that everybody else is paying attention to, which is the 200 exponential. The reason it works is simply because a lot of other people think it works and they watch it, and that causes buys to step in around this level here. You know, like if you look at the dip buy we got into this morning, we bought it right here. Why? Because a lot of buys are stepping in at that 200 EMA. Works really well, really well. But everybody's different. Sometimes it's not going to work. Nothing works 100% of the time in markets. So sometimes it's also going to just dump down. And that's very possible as well, so just be careful. Yes, we got retail sales data out. Alright guys, so Market's very flat to start the day today. We still got about 10 minutes left. Intel at 24s, but we're still very flat. Wondering if I should buy at 700. CM Punk. Yeah, I'm not shocked CM Punk got beat up. His problem is that he was old. He was like in his late 30s. And so, yeah, he just got... Here, hold on. I'm going to go tell my kids bye real quick. Hold on. All right, guys, here we go. I'm back. Is everybody defending CM Punk now? Yeah, I mean, for CM Punk to step in and think that he was actually going to beat UFC fighters. Rosie, baby. Oh, thank you, sorry. For CM Punk to actually step in and think he was going to beat UFC fighters at like 37 or 30. How old was CM Punk? I think it was like 40. Yeah, 36. 30. CM Punk was almost 40 when he stepped in. For him to think that he could start training and then enter the UFC at 40. Hey, buddy. Hey, just give you a hug. Here, I'll give you another one. All right, I love you, buddy. Have a good day at school, dude. Love you, bud. Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. I'll give you another hug, buddy. All right, I love you, dude. Have a good day at school, bud. Here. Yeah, there you go. All right, Tesla at 245s. Bonds moving up, yields. Are they really? Is TLT moving up? Well, it's kind of moving up now. Where's the TNX? Yeah, TNX is moving back down. Not a shock. All right, guys, we got 6.5 minutes left. I'm going to buy this dip again. We got our level right here. We're not going to hold this very long, though. If it turns, we're going to cut it, probably. I'm trying to give it time. It's just taking too long here. I'm going to cut this and get out. It's just taking too long, honestly. It might bounce. We're too close to the opening bell. We got 5 minutes until the open. I don't want to get stuck in that opening volatility. And so I'm going to cut it. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to give out signals, AR. No offense, man. Yeah, Mickey Gall was legit. Especially, like, here's the problem, is that I would rather CM Punk. If I'm CM Punk, I would rather fight somebody that doesn't know jiu-jitsu and hope I can compete with them if I trained a little bit versus somebody that's just a killer in striking. But he got the opposite. He got somebody that was a killer at jiu-jitsu. And Mickey Gall just took him down and tapped him out very quick, you know. The second guy was a little bit more, but even still, he just wasn't good. Yeah, I'm waiting for the opening bell, guys. We got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Tesla down at 245. Yeah, and I like to think, like, if you're CM Punk, right? Like, you know, if you go train at your gym and you roll with people and you get beat in rolls with just hobbyists, you probably shouldn't step into the UFC. And so I'm genuinely curious what his rolls with other people at his gym look like, you know? Because if he didn't win those, you know, I don't know. It's tough to tell. All right, so we did get a bounce right here. I probably could have held it a little bit longer and caught this, but we did get a bounce. Tesla's still breaking down. It's at 245s. Yeah, I should have held the dip by, but again, it's still a little clue. We got less than 3 minutes into the opening bell. I don't really want to hold through it. I don't know if this small little move here was enough to justify holding it either, and so I'd rather just wait. Housing data? I don't know. Well, they're not talking about healthy for the traders. They're talking about healthy for the market. Because if you don't correct, you crash instead. And that's not good, obviously. Yeah, so if you don't correct, you crash. We got home builder confidence and business inventories at 10, but Netflix is still popping up. We got less than a minute now, guys. Less than a minute. All right, Google has traditionally exclusively used Broadcom to develop its TPUs. While it's unlikely that Google would stop using Broadcom, it would mean Broadcom would have to share the business. Yeah, so bad news for... Okay, so that makes sense. Slightly bad news for Broadcom that caused this little dip here is what happened. Yeah, appreciate it, Pawn. Thank you, sir. So we hit the 200 EMA. We got the opening bell in about 2 seconds. 1 second, 0 seconds. There's the bell. All right, let's see what happens. I'm going to wait 5 minutes at least. We got a small cushion on the day, though. I'll take it. Green is good so far. All right, so a little decrease here. Again, I'm waiting. We're going to see if we get some opening bell action right now. So we did get a little bounce here, although I do see Nvidia dropping. So we do see Broadcom bouncing back, Netflix bouncing back. Tesla is all the way down to 240s again. Microsoft's rebounding back up. Intel's popping some at the opening bell. Apple is rebounding a little bit too, but still down. So we kind of got mixed results. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna wait. All right, Intel's shooting up to almost 25s. Intel's popping back up here. Nvidia's still dipping down. Nvidia's basically completely flat. We're still waiting for the opening bell to happen first. Man, Intel's popping all the way up to 25s. Intel doing very strong. Again, I'm waiting for the opening bell to play out first. Yeah, I mean, AR, chill out. Okay, I'm looking at some of your history. You said, quote, at 825, you're too early to buy. Instead, buy 19902, which was way up here. You're basically telling people to buy up here. And then once we started to get green action, you pivoted to buy now. And now you're saying you're all welcome. A little bit too desperate for validation here, brother. No offense to you, but yeah. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I wish you the best. I can check the receipts in the chat, unfortunately. Microsoft up to 388s. No info really just dropped here. We're still waiting. Yeah, I don't really see much. Hyatt files for 2-node offering. Yeah, you know how it goes. You're new. You know, you say, oh, the market's going to go up. Market's going to go down. Market's going to go sideways. And then market goes up. See, I said the market would go up. It's like, yeah, you also said it would go down and sideways too. You know. You know how it goes. When you're brand new, everything's a call, everything's a pick. You just really want to be right. And so it's kind of how it goes. Anyways, let me find the music. Yeah, but even if you're using the June contract, it's so illiquid right now that like there's a range of everything. So yeah. Anyways, Microsoft pushing up. It's at 389. The market will probably go up or down, possibly sideways. But one of those three, you're welcome in advance. Listen, taken. I hear it. All right, guys. So we're still moving up. And again, AR, I'm not even saying you're wrong, but you know. The market will move to the right. Genius. Apple still popping up. Intel is really what's dragging this market up too right now. So Intel's making moves. We just broke the high of the day. Is this the high of the day? Yeah, we just broke the high of the day in markets. Up over it now. I gotta draw some levels on my charts now too. Hold on. Let me go back. Where are we at? Ugh. Alright, I gotta put some longer term charts up. Let's put a 5-minute chart. We're at up there. Yeah. Let's keep looking. Alright, we're gonna have to go all the way back here. 4-hour chart is what we're gonna have to use. We got a little range here though, to be honest. Okay. All right, I'm just kind of waiting here. If we get up to this level, we'll play with it, but we got a little range to go here. We could look at like 840s, 850s, 800s right here. Makes a little sense to watch right around here. I think we got to look at this little top now though to see if that holds. Still ripping up. Nvidia is still consolidating down though. I haven't really taken any trades since the open. All right, guys. So again, watching the market right now. Let's see if we find some trades. We will short if we get up to this spot here, but we gotta wait for it now. Anyway, it's gonna be like a quick scalping short too, by the way. What's up, Michael? 80%. Hey, nice, dude. Yeah, Netflix is back up to almost 1,000 again. It's at 950s now. It went all the way down to 9s. All right, so we're going to start shorting here, and then maybe we're going to short up there. I should short a little bit higher, but we're going up a little bit too much. We'll take 4. Oh, we didn't get 4. No, there's 4. Take half off there, lock it in. Take the other half off there, lock it in. Get out the rest there. All right, so yeah, just made about a $30 scalp. If we get up to this level, we'll short it again. I don't really like shorting against the trend, but Broadcom bouncing back. Also, Intel making some crazy movement today. Look at this move for Intel. See, we hit 850. I think it's probably a little bit bigger level. Maybe come back down to this range. Maybe we'll short the top. Intel coming back down. Tesla's still back up some, but still red since the opening bell. Netflix still pumping up almost to 960s now. Yeah, so there's the rejection I wanted. I mean, I didn't quite get enough, but we're doing okay. I was gonna buy this dip at this resistance level too, but Nvidia is still falling, guys. Look at this. Market's getting propped up by Meta this morning, Intel, Apple, Netflix, Microsoft. Nvidia is actually kind of turning down, though. Look at Nvidia drop here. That's a drop. Change this level, put it right here, but look at Nvidia here, chat, on the right side. Nvidia at 121s. Is AMD pumping? Yeah, see, I gotta pull that up too. Yeah, ahead of the chip conference is probably what it is. AMD was down a lot too, so it kind of needed it. It was under 100 for at one point. It's at 105s now, so it kind of needed this. Look at Nvidia still breaking down. I'm gonna buy this dip now. It's a little risky, but one contract should be enough. There we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and lock that in. See, I should have held maybe a little bit longer, but we got a lot of this anyway, though. Here's my trading today so far. Very small trades, but we haven't actually had a losing trade yet. Here's our trades today. So you can see the 17th started here. Green, 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 green. Hey, nice, Francisco. Congrats. I mean, I took one micro contract and made $10 from it, which is a little baby scalp. Commission's not going to be $10 per micro contract, regardless of where you go. So I'm still going to net profit on it. And these maybe not, but these are small little trades. 25, 10, 12. We're going to net profit on all that. It's small, but it doesn't matter. Like we're trying to build up a cushion so we can take larger amounts of risk. Let's see if we get a dip down to 775 right here. We'll buy that too if we get it, but we gotta wait for it. Again, I'm a huge trading wimp in how I trade, but I will start to take some longer term trades on this pullback here. There we go. All right, we're gonna start buying in now. Take 2 contracts here. We'll probably leave it at 2, see if we get a longer term bounce. Maybe add 3, I guess, down to this support list, this resistance level. We're up there. It took half off, or a third. Took another little piece off there too on the retracement back up. We'll see if we get out the rest. I'd like a little bit more, but we gotta wait for it. I got a good little risk level here too. I could also add it back. I just don't know whether I want to get out break even or not here. I'm gonna just cut that. We lost a little bit on the trade, very small amount. We might try to buy the dip down here too, but I gotta wait for it now. See, this is Nvidia falling down quick here. Try it down here now. Took half off. I'm gonna add some size right back at this level here. But we're breaking down quick, so I just got to be really careful. Immediately going to start taking some off here. Just to protect the trade. Because this thing's falling fast. Yeah, we got to cut it. So we ended up losing a little bit, but we're honestly pretty flat on the overall amount of trades. Something's turning. It seems to be a bad news catalyst here. So I was trying to attack the trend. Let me see if we can figure out what this is. We're still green. I could show you we're still green here too. See, still green at the top. See, there's the retracement we wanted this whole time. A little bit early, but it's all good. Sometimes this is how the market acts. Yeah, I don't really see. See, we went down to that 200 EMA as well. Yeah, Nvidia is what broke down a lot. See, here's the bounce, though. It would have worked, too. We just missed it. I might sit on the green on this account and figure out what else we want to do on this one here. So I just took one trade buy in this dip off screen just to kind of refresh my mental game. I'll put this account back up here. We are now up just under $100. So we ended up buying this dip around the support level at 750, and we ended up getting the pop. But just to show you the trades, if you guys want to actually see it here. Here's where we lost, and then we made 14, 15, 22, 7, and 10. So we got it back. We bounced right at that 200 EMA though. You know, we got faked out, and then the original thesis actually did work. We were trying to buy it up right here. We just took a little while. We broke down a little bit too much and then retraced, so it took us a little bit longer, but the end result's the same. We still made money from it. Yeah, and sometimes I'm going to take trades off stream just because, like, it's easier to manage. A lot of stuff's bouncing back, including Nvidia though. Nvidia is about to run into that previous closing price though, right here at 122s or at 121.50. A little nervous about how it behaves there, but we are starting to see a lot of AMD bounce back, Apple bounce back, Netflix bounce back, Tesla rebounding some, Microsoft up on the day, Meta green on the day as well, Intel still pretty green, Broadcom, AVGO rebounding back up some as well, although still red on the day. Yeah, super volatile. We're hitting this resistance level too, but looks like we might push over this level, but let's see. There it goes. Yep. See if it holds now. All right, so here goes Nvidia about to hit that level. So look, here's the previous closing price right here, and Nvidia is right about to move over to test it. It depends on what everything else does, though. A lot of other stuff's pushing up. I don't know whether I want to short this because I think Nvidia might reject this level and pull back here, or what. Let's see if, yeah. There's the dip. There's Nvidia rejecting off of it. Yep. I gotta trust my own intuition sometimes, but all good. AVGO hitting that previous closing price too. There's the big pullback that I was talking about. Now, Nvidia could find some legs here though and keep going up. You just gotta wait for it, I think. Yeah, triple witching Friday, this Friday, a day of historical volatility. So here's this level. Ah, look at that level hold, man. I should have bought my little dip there too. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cut it for the rest of the day, guys. Again, I'm on Top Step right now. Small green day in the books for me. We're trying to keep it slow and steady. If you want to check them out, again, Top Step, if you want to learn to day trade, do not risk your own money. Almost all day traders lose. And so if you deposit your own 5, 10, 20, 30 grand, you're probably going to lose it. Let's just be honest here. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow, you're probably going to lose it. The ones that do make money, it takes them years to learn as well. And so instead, try Top Step. They give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit on that 50K demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K as well. No PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, gold, some currencies. A lot of Forex traders should be trading futures. There's less red tape anyway. No PDT rule. Again, it's just a great way to learn. If you fail it, you're out $49 is what the base one costs. So it's not the end of the world. You get a practice account with real-time data if you fail it anyway, so you can then practice and get better. It just helps you follow rules and get better as a trader. But again, they're an affiliate of mine. I am biased. You want to confirm it all with them. I don't guarantee anything. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I have no freaking idea. What I'm talking about might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. There's the link right there if you want to check it out. Again, understand on Top Step X, there's zero commission. So check that out as well. No PDT rule. Great way to learn. And again, I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the Nvidia GTC keynote speech at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to stream the whole thing live like we always do. Hit the sub button. Hit the notification bell. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck.